What's up guys, I'm Caddy here bringing you the second half of our UU session. Now, today I'm against a subscriber of mine called Red Tiger, and he actually has an advantage with this one because he's seen my team already. He's seen the team building video. So, it's going to make it a little bit more interesting for me. He hasn't seen the updated version, so hopefully I might be able to catch him out with a few things of those. So, looking at his team, he's got a Machamp, which I haven't seen in a long time. A Nidoking as well. Porygon Z, which may be Specs, so I need to watch out for that. That may also be his... I'd say, to be honest, more likely Specs Scarfer. Yeah, I think that's probably possible. And then a Milotic, which is his special wall, and an Aggron, Mega Aggron for his physical wall. So, I think he does lack a defogger, and that is going to be very interesting. So, the question is, do I just lead with Spexbra and just get out of the way, get the sticky web up? There is a chance he may lead with the Machamp, but I think even Scarfed I should be able to outspeed. So, I think sticky web is definitely going to be instrumental because it handles that, slows that down, and that down, which is going to make Cress's life so much easier. So, I think it is probably the best bet to go out into Galvantula. The only thing it really sort of does work against is that Milotic. So, he goes out to Monty, the Nidoking. I am going to just go for the sticky web here, just because he does lack... Yeah, I'm just double checking. He does lack defogging, any defogging or rapid spinning. So, I do set up the web as he goes to the flamethrower. From here, I could potentially go out into Blastoise, but to be honest, I don't think there's too much point in saving this, especially with two ground types on the field. I guess I could get good hits off on these, but as soon as rocks go up, I'm not going to be as useful. And to be honest, he is probably going to be going for a Sludge Wave here, and I don't really want any of my Pokemon to really take that. So I think I am just going to let Galvantula go down at this point. He has done his job, which is an absolutely excellent job, to be honest. And I think, in terms of what to go into after this, I'm not sure if Entei will outspeed, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to take that out. But then it does bait in that Milotic. So from here, I think Blastoise doesn't outspeed. I don't really want Blastoise to take much damage, because I know then, with my base, because I then now outspeed base 100, so I do outspeed... I can't remember what Flygon... I think Flygon might have 100 speed. Or is it 80... I'm not 100% sure, but I will outspeed it. I know for a fact it's not got any more than 100 speed, so that doesn't make any difference. And so from here, it is quite tempting to go into Entei just to get a Sacred Fire off. I think it should do a reasonable chunk to that Milotic. I don't really want to go out to kill a Bunny at this point because I really don't want to risk the speed tie. So I think Entei probably is the best bet. If he decides to go out into Flygon, that's still going to take a reasonable chunk, and there is a chance that E-Speed will take it out after that. Thinking about it, E-Speed may be the better play, because it's just whether I can take out a Nidoking from there. Let's see, so Sacred Fire is 150, divided by 2, 75, compared to 80 power. There's not much point, to be honest. And I do outspeed, because I've got 299 speed. And if he's Scarfed, he's going to be in trouble anyway. So, I'm going to go for the Sacred Fire. I think that 5 less damage is just... It's worth the risk, to be honest. I guess there is the miss chance as well. He does go out into White and Gold now. As long as I don't miss... That did a huge chunk. I'm going to go for an E-Speed at this point. That did a huge chunk. I did not expect that to do this much. But yeah, that's quite I quite like the nickname on his Porygon as well. It's just a shame that is going to be going down now, but oh, that was a disgusting amount of damage. From here, I'm not exactly sure. He does switch out into Julius, so I'm going to get an E-Speed off, which really doesn't do much, which is really disappointing. So, this is going to be quite handy, I'm pretty sure. Especially because when handling the Aggron, it's not going to be too bad. I do anticipate a Scald coming my way. So the question is, what can I really go out into? And the answer's not that much, to be honest. I may be able to get into a position where I need a safe switch in for Cress, to be honest, to set up. And I also need that Aggron out the way as well. So that's not really going to be doing much. My Blastoise is going to be doing much, but I can't really touch that Milotic. I really want to get Killer Bunny in, but then I know Killer Bunny just wrecks his team. So, apart from the Flygon, I think. So, how useful is Haxorus? Haxorus is probably my least useful mon, I would say, especially with that Aggron kicking round. So, I think I'm just going to go out into Haxorus, and even if I don't get any damage off, I think it's still going to let me go out into Nidoking, and I think Nidoking is absolutely going to wreck from there. He does go for the Scald, as long as he doesn't get the burn. Oh, he does get the burn. Oh well. From here, I'm just going to Dragon Dance up just to get a bit of. Or I could. No, there's no point being cheeky and going for the Poison Jab. I don't think. I guess I could go for. No, he is going to have the Recover. I'm going to go for the Dragon Dance here. He does pack the Ice Beam. That was. I was kind of worried about that, but. From here though, I do outspeed with Cress, so I can go out into Cress, and I'm going to get a sub up and start setting up from there. I could have gone out into Nidoking, but I don't think... I'm not particularly comfortable with being able to take that out. This Milotic is going to be a little bit of a problem, though. I know I am 4-6 down, but his Porygon is at a very low level of health, and I have the web up as well. So, I think I am at a very slight advantage. It's just as long as I can break through that Aggron, that's going to be the only issue. So, we'll sub up, and we'll see what he goes for. He does go out into Brian. Okay. So, from here, I'm just going to get a Moonblast off, to be honest. If he does decide to go for an Outrage or Dragon Claw, I have a feeling a U-turn won't break my sub. It sounds really weird. But, oh, blimey. I didn't realise that Brian got defog. Okay. Well, you learn something new every day. That's definitely turned the tables a bit. I didn't expect that to learn defog. So I'm going to go for another Moonblast. That's put me in a little bit more of a precarious situation now, thinking about it. Because, actually, has it? Let's see. So, as I said, the U-turn doesn't actually take me out. And he is Life Orb as well. So, let's see, because I would outspeed the Milotic anyway. So, it's mainly that PZ that's going to become the problem. But I do have enough HP with the Entei. Oh, he takes that out. I must admit, I disagree with that play, because I think, while PZ actually is it Life Orb, we never got to see, actually, did we? No. So, that may have been Life Orbed, which in fairness would probably be a reasonable play, but if it wasn't, considering it, I have a feeling it, well, I spend my Blastoise at least now. But, anyway, in terms of what he's going to switch in, I do anticipate the Aggron coming in, to be honest. But Cress is sitting reasonably comfortably here. Even if I just get a tiny bit of damage off on Aggron, I can always go back out into probably Blastoise. He does go out into Brian now. I do anticipate the U-turn at this point, so I'm just going to sub up again. It's a bit of a cheeky play, but it is going to wear him down as well with his Life Orb damage. And if he goes for Outrage, then at least I know what he's doing. Oh, he goes for the Roost. That is an excellent play. So I'm learning more and more about Flygon as I go. I am going to go for another sub here, just because I do anticipate a U-turn. Yeah, that was a serious misplay on my part. He goes for the EQ, just to see what I would go for, I think. So, I'm going to go for another sub, just to see. Is he going to U-turn out? Or was that just a misclick? Because I would ideally like to be behind the sub. Or do I... sub Moonblast. He does U-turn, so that was the correct play. But yeah, I think the problem is with Flygon is I just see it all the time, either scarfed or banded, that I never actually appreciated its other moves at all, really. So it's actually quite nice to have seen this, actually. I think it's quite underrated in some cases. And to be honest, I think as a Scarfer, it's not particularly great. He goes out into Shrek now. And I'm just going to get a Moonblast off because I just want to get damage off on this. And I think Moonblast would do a decent chunk. He may be AV, but to be honest, most of the time, they are quite often Scarfed. So he does go for the Bullet Punch, which is a play I disagree with as well because, yeah, he looks like AV at this point. So I'll go for another Moonblast. Oh yeah, it was a misclick. I didn't see that. That's fine. It doesn't make much difference really. I do get another Moonblast as long as I can just break this guy down. See, this is the bulk of Cress coming through because I think I'm going to be able to take this Machamp out unless he decides to switch out. Because even if he breaks my sub, I can still sub up after this. And he is now at a level of health. He does have the knockoff, and I'm surprised he's not gone for that before. So I'm going to go for another sub. And just experiment, just to see. I have a feeling I should be able to take that. I also need to change the HPEVs as well. I completely forgot about that. I'm pretty sure. He does break my sub. Now that is really unfortunate. So I'm going to have to go for the Moonblast here. Why was I going for Moonblast? I should have gone for Psyshock. I don't know what I was smoking. Yeah, I probably should have been going for Psyshock before. I don't know why. I completely phased out with that. But maybe I can play this to my advantage because he's not seen Psyshock. Yes, actually, this may work to my advantage. If he now thinks I've not got the Psyshock, he may now go out into Nido. So maybe my sort of derpiness. I honestly, I don't know what I was doing there. But there is a chance it may pay off. We'll just have to see. He does go out into Aggron now. This is going to be a little bit tricky because it comes down to how I can break this Milotic. So that Milotic Flygon core with Killer Bunny is going to cause a few issues. Let's see. Well, I want to save my Cress. So I think I'm going to go out into my Blastoise. And I don't think I'm going to be able to take out the Milotic, but I think I should be able to do a decent chunk to it. It's just whether... yeah. He has Avalanche. Oh, that's quite interesting. So, from here, I can Mega Evolve. The lack of Mega Evolution makes me want to go for Aura Sphere now. I'm going to go for Aura Sphere. Just because I doubt the Nidoking's coming in, and I think the Milotic, it would do more damage to Milotic than a Scald would do. He does go onto the Milotic now. Let's see how much an Aura Sphere does. It does an okay amount. I think I'm going to go for another Aura Sphere, just to see, because if he has the Recover, I might be able to get Nidoking in on a safe switch. So I go for another Aura Sphere, as he does go for... He goes for the Dragon Tail. Okay. He is now at a position where, if he does want to heal up, he can. But I'm just testing for this now. And I'm kind of hoping he does end up Dragon Tailing me out. And if he ends up with me at the Nidoking, I'm in a fairly favourable position. So he does pack the Recover. So at this point, he's probably going to go for the Recover again. So it's whether I now go out into Killer Bunny and get... It's going to be a real pain, this. Let's see. So, I can either stay in an Aura Sphere, which isn't going to get me anywhere. Entei can't really touch it. Cress can't. Well, I guess Cress can. Cress can set up on it, actually. That might be the best play. Maybe Cress is the one to go out into, because I know he's got the Aggron, but considering he went for Avalanche, I don't think he's really got that much for me. So I'm going to go out into Cress. I very much doubt he's going to go for the Scald at this point. I think he is going to go for the Recover. He does go for the Recover this turn. So from here, I can get a sub up. I'm pretty sure, I very much doubt he is speed invested, so I should be outspeeding. I think. Yeah, because it's going to have about 180. Yeah, I do outspeed. So I get the sub up as he goes to Dragon Tail, and luckily, because I have the sub up, that's not going to work. So I'm going to start setting up Calm Minds. I think it's going to be all or nothing now with Cress. Considering he's not Mega Evolved with the Aggron, he may not be Mega Aggron, but then none of his others could, because obviously Flygon's crying in the corner. But, I don't know. So he goes to the Ice Beam. He's going to decide to stay in, which he may end up regretting, to be honest, because once Cress starts setting up, it gets really scary really, really quickly. But that defog has definitely shifted the scales back, because I completely forgot about it. He does go out into Brian. We know for a fact that I can take a U-turn pretty comfortably, so I'm going to get a Calm Mind off. I think he's realised what's going on, and it is a little bit scary, I must admit. So we'll see what he goes for. Considering he's got U-turn, he's probably got the Dragon Claw. He does break my sub. The question is, though, he's not really got much to get into, so I'm fairly comfortable going for it. Because, I mean, Nidoking's not going to touch me, and these two I can just set up another sub on. So it is a fairly comfortable position. I could have gone for sub at this point, but it wouldn't make much difference, and at least the Calm Mind just gets me a little bit more bulky for this thing. Unless it runs Toxic, but to be honest, I very much doubt it. So I'm going to get another sub up here, because I'm pretty confident I can take a hit, get a sub up after that, unless I get critted. Which, I may happen to me, we'll have to see. This is why I like being behind a sub as well, because if you get critted, it doesn't make too much difference. Sludge Bomb really doesn't do that much, and I can get another sub off. And I think, to be honest, this is quite a big threat, so I'm going to kill this. And I'm not sure what his Aggron moves, what he actually has. The Avalanche threw me off quite a bit, because I wasn't expecting him to have that. Because normally they have the Heavy Slam, which causes my Cress to have loads and loads of issues, because it breaks my sub in 2 goes, and I really can't do much to it. So he does go into Winston at this point, and we'll finally find out what's going on. So I think I'm going to go for a Moonblast here. And just to see how much it does. Considering how little Psyshock does, there's no point going for that. I think Moonblast is probably the best bet. And we will finally see if he is the Mega or not. In terms of moveset, I'm not exactly sure what to expect. He may be packing the Roar. To be honest, that might be another thing to consider as well. He does Mega up this turn, and that does an okay chunk. He does pack the Heavy Slam. So I think what I'm going to do is just... let's see. I think I should be able to tank its hits relatively well, so I can get Moonblast off again. He does go for the Fire Punch this time. Now that was a risky move, because if that Fire Punch hadn't broken my sub, he'd be in quite a bit of trouble. He is invariably going to go for the Heavy Slam hits. There's no point setting up subs. I might as well just go for it. I very much doubt he has the Toxic, and he does go for the Fire Punch this turn. Now, I'm actually going to go for the sub this turn, because considering how much Moonblast does, there is a chance I'm going to be able to KO him from here, because I've done 21%, 20% and 22%. So as long as I get a fairly high roll, I'll be able to take him out, and I'll still have a sub up as well. So yeah, this is just another example of just how evil Cress is. It's... I still don't understand why it's RU. It makes no sense at all. So it goes out into Monty now as I get a sub off. I am going to go for a Psyshock this turn, and nothing can really switch into this, and I am definitely going to be able to take this hit, unless he crits me. I do kind of hope he doesn't crit me, because it means that I can then handle the Flygon as well. But yeah, from here, I'm pretty sure it's GG. So he does double out. Yeah, oh, it takes that. That's quite surprising. I'm quite surprised about that. So he does go out into Brian now, and a U-turn's not going to be able to break it. So I am going to go for... I think I'm going to go for another Psyshock, because even if he does decide to go out into the Aggron, I can still 2-hit KO that, so that's not too much of a problem. It will do more to the Milotic. It does Roost up this turn, but I'm pretty sure Psyshock will take him out. It does crit as well, but I was doing 72%, so that doesn't make too much difference. Well, in terms of what's coming in next, I can't really see that much that's going to be able to handle this. Julia does come in. I am going to go for the Psyshock. I'd be quite interested just to see how much this does. I don't think he can really touch me. So, as I said, in terms of sort of learning about damage and things like that, it's definitely very, very useful. And it's just a good idea to get an idea of how much things do. Considering how it's not doing 50%, it's only doing about 33%. It's going to look really douchebaggy on his side, but I am going to set up just up to +4 just to make sure I'm doing over 50% and I can actually take him out, because otherwise, with the amount of PP that I've got, he could quite comfortably recover stall me. So I'm going to keep setting up here until I'm +4. Just to make sure I'm absolutely guaranteed to be able to take this out, because the last thing I'd want is to run out of Psyshocks and be just in a bit of a pickle, really. Because he's got 16 recovers, I think, so, and that, I think that matches the number of, yeah, it matches the number of Psyshocks, so, yeah, he's definitely going to be able to stall me out on that, so this is why I'm just setting up from here. And then from there, even if I do run out of Psyshocks, I'm still going to be able to handle it. He does go for the Dragon Tail this turn. And from here, I'm going to go for the Psyshock. And if he doesn't go for a cover this turn, then I'm pretty confident that's a 2-hit KO. I don't have the mental capacity at the minute to calculate the maths of that. He does switch out and sack off the Aggron. And that takes it. That's pretty good. And I'm going to go for the Moonblast. To be honest, Mega Aggron is one of the main stops to Cress, because you end up having to sort of chip it down, and you really can't do that much to it. That's the only disadvantage with the choice of moveset for Cress, is you only have, obviously, steel types are a real pain for it. But if you run mono attacking, then you've got to deal with dark types. And in terms of coverage, it really doesn't get that much great outside of, like, hidden power. And there's not many hidden powers that I particularly think are that great. And also the amount of, like, dragons and Hydreigon as well. I quite like having the Moonblast because it does a really decent chunk, even uninvested as well. So I figured it's quite a good range. As I said, you do struggle with steel types, but to be honest, the main steel types like Aggron, as I said, is the main one, but Fortress really can't touch you. So I do take this out with the Psyshock, and I'm pretty sure it's GG from here. I am going to pop a cheeky sub, just because I don't want to get burned and and get recover stalled. I'm just absolutely playing it as safe as possible, really, just to make sure I do take him out. But yeah, as I said, it's GG from here. I imagine this is going to do about maybe 40. I'm guessing 48%. It's always good fun to guess the numbers. So I'm going to go for a Psyshock. Let's see how close to 48 it can be. Yeah, from here, I can't see him able to... Oh, it crits. And considering how much that did, I was really underestimating that. So, yeah, that was an absolutely excellent battle. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I will see you at the next one. Macaddy out. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep up my latest content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Macaddy out.